Writing Prompts. WP. A piano is possessed by a ghost. The piano is purchased, and they haunt like they always do by playing the piano in the middle of the night. To their surprise, the new owner simply says, "Let's get this thing tuned for you, pal." Every night around 2 a.m., the plinky-plonky sounds of My Melancholy Baby started in the living room. I never imagined ghosts were real, but to have one in my house possessing my piano was just annoying. How am I supposed to get sleep with all this ragtime raging downstairs? I could almost hear the dancing shoes making contact with the floor following the rhythm. So I called an exterminator. He wanted to pour holy water on the keys, and I almost strangled him. It was 100-something years old Steinway in perfect condition. Well, almost perfect. It needed a tune, but I just did not have the time to do it. Being a most sought-after piano restaurateur in these parts did not leave me much time to tend after my own piano, much less play it. But the ghost did not disappoint. Every night on the dot, "Come to me, my melancholy baby," spilled through the house. Now at first I was afraid, as ghosts, brrr, scary stuff. Somebody did something evil to them so they can't leave this world. Or they are evil, and punished to roam this world seeking forgiveness, as that gruff Ghostbuster explained before I threw him out. And the only way, apart from exorcising it, was to avenge it, or forgive it for its misdeeds, and it would move on behind the veil. So, I tried tracking the piano. It took me weeks to find the previous owner, who was an old German guy, a member of a well-known Hamburg naval officer's family, Stortebecker. They had a house on the Elbe, their front garden enclosed by a small dam instead of a fence, for when the river rose high. I have never seen anything like it. Of course, old Stortebecker was dead, being 102 by my count. His son came to the door, all lanky and neat, spry for a 60-year-old. "Yes," he said, without any trace of German in his English. "I spoke to you on the phone, about the piano you auctioned away a few months back." "Yes, my father's piano. He sat at it and played almost every day he was home. Is there anything wrong?" "No, the piano is perfect. It plays on its own, every night, mostly Titanic-era songs." "Oh, that must be unsettling." "Well, not so much, but it does mess with my sleep. I mean, it is in perfect condition, and I do not want to get rid of it, but I have to make it stop, at least overnight." It never did that here. My father was a quiet, stern old man, a true ship's captain. Was there anything he ever regretted? We did not talk about our emotions much, but he did tend to stare in the distance a lot more after he lost my mother. Lost her? One evening they were returning from the officers' ball. It was beginning to snow, and she somehow slipped and fell off the bridge into the freezing Elbe. He dove after her, but did not find her. He never smiled after that. But he did play the piano, usually music she liked. I went to the spot where she drowned. The river was 500 feet wide with a lot of boat traffic. I walked to the middle of the bridge and looked down. The fog was whirling over the water, and in it, for a second, I saw a lady in a white summer dress, and the sounds of the melancholy baby somehow lingered in the crisp winter air. I looked around. There were no people with any kind of instrument up and down the promenade. So I went home, carrying the Stortebecker heartbreak with me. Losing his wife after 50 years must have been devastating for an old captain. He never got to say goodbye, hold her, tell her how much she is loved. All that was left of her was her favorite song and the memory of her dancing. It broke my heart. As soon as I entered, I dropped my bag and took out my pitchfork and tools. "Let me tune this up for you, Captain. Otherwise she might not recognize the song you are playing, Plink," was the reply from the piano. The first one ever played during the day. Since then, I sleep like a log, and old Stortebecker plays his piano. Well, piano, so not to wake me up. Hope she hears him one day, and comes over for the last dance.